Humans of the cardboard. Big reveals today. We're on with Light and Darkness Dragon support. This is I think what support cards being thrown, 5 or 6 support cards being thrown into Infinite Forbidden, supporting Chaz Princeton's cards for when he what is that the light what is it the Cult of Light. I don't even remember what the name is from that, but I do remember that little arc where he goes kind of evil, kind of stuff. He plays Light and Darkness Dragon, and that's basically what this is a new Light and Darkness Dragon and a couple of new cards there. Weird that this is not like cover set stuff. I mean, I get it. It's more manga heavy than it is like anime heavy, so I guess they're not trying to go after it in that regard, but still, I could have seen this being in the Light Legendary Duelist. I could see this being in like an Animation Chronicle, because it's like heavy manga stuff, or even like cover stuff in a core set. But no, it's just kind of in there. So let's take a look. Let's see what Chaz has going on here. So we start with a new fusion, Light and Darkness Dragon Lord. Just a new version, but it's a fusion this time. This is a 3400, 3000, level 10 Light Dragon fusion. His materials are 1 level 8 Light Dragon and 1 level 8 Dark Dragon, so not super generic. It does, you're locked into dragons, and they have to be the right level, and one of each of those attributes, but hopefully it's strong if it is. While face up on the field, this card is also Dark attribute. Okay. Once per chain, when a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated, this card loses 1000 attack and defense, and if it does, negate the activation. Interesting. So very similar to Light and Darkness Dragon. It's an Omni negate once per chain. It's actually like Appaloosa, but added that you can also negate spells and traps. The one difference here for sure, this is non-discriminate. This negates everything. So you're going to run through 3 negates pretty quickly here. And also, this negates your own cards as well. So you have to be wary of that as well. Okay, interesting. And then if this card is destroyed by your opponent, you can target 1 dragon monster in your graveyard special summon. I think that's kind of cool, because I would guess that a fair amount of the time, the route your opponent wants to go is bait it once, bait it twice, because it negates everything, so you can use lesser effects early to force the negates, because they are mandatory. And then if you can just summon something when this thing's like, let's say 1400, and just beat over it, at least you have a float here, so that the easiest way to out it is still netting you one of the dragons that was used for its fusion, or maybe something else you went through back. Okay, this card's not bad. It's really going to come down to how good the main deck monsters are at facilitating it. That's really going to be the bigger question here. But not a bad card. It's right. Like it's an Appaloosa that encompasses more types of negates, but also can hurt your own stuff as well. So got to be wary of that. Okay, moving in. We have Light and Sublimation Dragon. Geez, so this is, I think, a new version of the extra deck synchros. I think both of these are synchros that they basically are getting main deck forms of. Level 8 Light Dragon, 2600 attack, 2100 defense. You can only use all 3 effects once per turn. You can banish 1 level 8 dragon monster from your extra deck to special summon this card from your hand. Also, you cannot special summon for the rest of this turn except dragon monsters. Wow. Straight up, not even just from extra deck. For the entire rest of the turn, you are locked into dragons. But that isn't that's a pretty easy summoning condition. Yes, it will require you to play maybe cards in the extra that you maybe now don't plan to summon all that often, but at least so it does take up extra space potentially, but it is a pretty free summon. During your main phase, you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. Okay, so it's also your fusion summon. Cool. So that's 2 out of the 3 pieces needed to even get to the fusion in the first place. And the last one, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can make this card lose exactly 500 attack and defense, and if it does, that opponent's monster loses 1500 attack. Interesting. So maybe if you're able to end on this next to Light and Darkness Dragon, and that way even if he gets down to, you know, let's say 1400, and your opponent would like to walk over him in the battle phase, you would be able to potentially lower them, but that doesn't even really make perfect sense. This one doesn't really make sense because this would be negated by him, so it is weird. I don't know. Yeah, a little bit weird there, but still, I think it's a pretty good card. Pretty easy extender, and then also fuses at the same time. That's not bad at all. That actually could have application in other Dragon Fusion builds, I would say. Alright, for the dark one, this one also needs to be good here. This is Dark End Evaporation Dragon, level 8 Dark Dragon, 26/21 again, 2 hard ones for turn effects. First effect, you can banish a level 8 dragon from your extra deck to special summon this card, and then you are locked into dragons for the rest of this turn. You can only activate, or you can activate one of these effects. There's 2 different effects, you get to pick one. Fusion, summon a fusion from the extract using monsters from your hand or field as material, so again, just kind of the same thing. Or you can target one other attack position monster. This card loses exactly 500 attack and defense, and if it does, destroy that target. That's kind of cool. I actually like that bonus effect quite a bit. I mean, just the fact that this gives the utility of, like, it's also a decently sized body that also has that going second application to just go after something in attack position is kind of nice. Okay, yeah, these are fine. It feels like not that every deck has to be a 1-card combo, but it does feel like, how are we getting both of these guaranteed? Like, I just want to see a route where we're like, we super easily get both Light Dragon and Dark Dragon that are level 8, so that way you can at least make this new boss monster. Alright, one more main deck monster. This is Knight Armed Dragon. This is this guy. Okay. Level 3 Wind Dragon monster, 1400 attack, 1900 defense, 3 hard ones per turn effects. If you special summon a level 5 or higher dragon, you can special summon this card from the hand. That's not a bad extension effect, for sure. That can even chain block stuff. If this card is special summoned, you can make its attribute and level become one of your banished dragon monsters. Okay, so this card is going to be able to come out and copy, you know, light level 8 dragon or dark level 8 dragon. That way it can be used as one of the materials for the fusion boss monster above. If this card is sent to the graveyard, targeted dragon monster you control it gains 1000 attack, and neither player can activate cards or effects in response to this effect's activation. So also trying to make your boss monster better. I guess the vibe here is you want to use this card as fusion material for the new fusion, in which case when it's sent you can give it an extra 1000, which is an extra negate, making it 4400, technically 4 negates, and your opponent can't respond. So since he's once per chain, if your opponent had something quick effect to respond to him with when he fires to handle the rest of his negates, he would be in trouble. But now your opponent can't respond to him, so whatever he's negating, he is negating, which is pretty cool. Okay, I mean, this is fine. Again, this is just an extender. There's like no starter cards here. They're all just extenders that try to get you into this guy. Alright, final card here is a spell. This is Dragon's Glory of Light and Dark. It's a quick play spell. Activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can activate this card as many times as you, up to 3 times in a turn, but you got to pick one of these effects, and you can't do the same effect once. Okay. Shuffle 1 level 8 dragon monster from your hand into the deck. And if you do, add a level 8 dragon with a different attribute from your deck to your hand. Okay, so it's kind of a neg one, which is kind of the tough part here, but it can fix the hand, and there are some pretty good level 8 dragons out there. You think of Chaos Dragon Legionnaire going second, you know what I mean? Really big bomb card as long as you're able to get the grave filled up with the attributes you want. You know, and there's other cards too, but there's definitely some application, man, there. That is like a pseudo-Rhoda, yeah. Target dragon monster you control gains attack equal to its level times 200. That's not terrible either. I mean, again, it's the thing with Light and Darkness Dragon, right? If you can buff it. But this is weird, because this card still wants to negate those cards. I guess it's a quick effect, so maybe the vibe is once you use 3 negates on this card and it's 400, so it can't negate anything anymore, you can use the quick play spell because it can't negate anymore, so then you buff it by another 1600 to get 2 more negates loaded onto it. But that's pretty specific, I would say. I doubt that situation would come up very often, but it's still like battle phase shenanigans. And when a card effect is activated that targets a dragon monster you control, negate that effect. So you can also just set it and make it so. That's actually pretty nice, that utility, because that's also saying, like, you're going to have much more trouble. We've got ways to, like, deter our opponent from wanting to go battle phase on him. He's negating any card effects that go after him, but if something in a chain maybe they're using that targets him, you can just negate it altogether. Be better if it was just like a straight up like Eagle Booster where it just made him unaffected, but negating a targeting effect is still pretty decent. Yeah, this card's interesting, right? It's not the best version of Rhoda, but I think the utility effects maybe still make this card a little bit playable. I think where I go back on this archetype right now is, like, there's no searchability here. There's no, like, consistency boosting cards here. There's just, like, a couple decent extenders. But still interesting, to say the least. This is not what I was expecting at all. And we get new Madolche support. I literally didn't even see this. I just opened this up. Okay. I really thought we were getting Madolche support. The whole core got reprinted in the OCG in one of their big reprint sets. It made perfect sense. So let's hit it up. All right. Madolche. This is Queen Madolche Tiara Fries. A new rank 5 fairy, exceed 3 level 5 Madolches. Once per turn, you can also exceed Fry by using Madolche Queen Tiara Misu you control. Transfer its materials to this card. Okay. It's pretty easy to make. Once per opponent's turn, quick effect. You can detach one material from this card, then target up to 2 Madolche cards in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, shuffle up to that many cards your opponent controls into the deck. So this is a non-target double shuffle on the opponent's turn. That is so good. That is one of the things I really wanted to see from Madolche, was the inherent interruptions they set up are just not that strong. That can do some stuff going second, but going first, it felt like the board wasn't doing much. It was like a graveyard interruption and like just a target one card on the field and negate it. Usually that was like what the deck set up, but now you actually have like this is a double shuffle of any 2 cards. That is pretty powerful. Second effect of this card: in your possession is destroyed by your opponent, sent to the graveyard, return it to the extra deck. Oh, that's kind of cool. Just return it to the extra deck. I wonder if that triggers some of the other Madolche cards. I don't know if the way this is worded would trigger some of those spells and traps that say like get a resource back there. But that's still interesting. That's still a pretty powerful card, even though it's only on the opponent's turn. It's interruption. It's powerful interruption. So we will take that, because we can also still make Tiara Misu on our own turn to do, main phase removal before making this card to then be the big boy on the opponent's turn. So really, really solid. Cool. New Link 3, I also wanted to see a Link. The Link 2 is not very good. Now, I kind of wish this was just a better Link 2, because 3 is kind of asking a lot, but we'll see what it does. This is Madolche Mugnard Meowcaron. Okay, Macaron. 2300 attack. It's a level Earth 3 Link Beast. Link 3 Beast, Earth. Yeah, points all 3 arrows down. 2 effect monsters, including a Madolche. So this actually does open up the door to play some other cards as well. Maybe Vernisylphs can still be used as material here, stuff like that. 2 hard ones per turn effects. If this card is Link Summon, add a Madolche card from deck to hand. If you could just get to this, you just search a Madolche card. That's actually Wait, can you just search Messengelato off of this? I can't remember exactly how Messengelato works. I haven't messed with Madolche in years. If you just search Messengelato off of this, do you just get to special Messengelato and then search? Or no, do you have to summon Messengelato? I don't know. I can't remember exactly how he works. Okay, second effect. Target a monster in your graveyard. You cannot activate non-Madolche monster effects for the rest of this turn. Also, special summon a Madolche from your hand, and if you do, shuffle the target from the deck. So there you go. You can search Messengelato. I believe Messengelato doesn't summon itself. He needs to be specialed, and then when he is, if you control a Madolche beast, he then searches a spell. So I think you can search Messengelato off of this, then send one of the Madolche monsters engraved back to deck to summon Messengelato, and then he searches you the spell. Nice. Okay. Wait, we're cooking. These cards are good. These are 2 good cards. I am so worried about Nib. Nothing to deal with Nib still, so we'll see. And the last card here is a new trap. It's Madolche Dessert. Normal trap. You can only use one of these cards' effects once per turn, and only once that turn. Target 2 effect monsters on the field, including at least 1 Madolche. Return those effect monsters to the hand/extra deck. Then you can special summon a Madolche monster from your hand or extra deck with attack equal to or less than the returned Madolche's total original attack. Okay. Less than the returned monster. So combined. So you should be able to summon almost any Madolche monster. Because you're going to shuffle back a Madolche you already have on field plus probably something your opponent has. Because this target ending two effects, just one has to be a Madolche. So you target one of your own, target one of your opponents, you shuffle them both back. You still get a monster summoned out off of that, which could just potentially be this, I think. No, but this does still need material, right? So this doesn't give you material. So you have to keep an eye on that. I guess you could just maybe summon... Oh, but it's not link summon. So I don't know what you're summoning off of this per se, but okay. Second effect, if a Madolche card or cards is returned from your graveyard to the deck and or extra deck while this card is in graveyard, you can attach this card to one XYZ monster you control as material. Interesting. So this almost reads like the kind of effect that you would want to be able to fire immediately. Like you summon out an Exceed, and this would immediately be able to attach as material. So that way, if it's something like your Fries, she'd be able to fire now immediately on the opponent's turn. Or I can't remember if Glass Souffle also needs to detach, but I would assume it does because it's an Exceed and they do that. Again, I haven't messed with Madolche in quite a bit. I just haven't think there was much reason to. But this is a pretty significant buff. I thought some of their main deck cards are already pretty decent. They have a good amount of starters and stuff. You could argue you would have liked to see one or two just main deck engine boosting cards. But again, I never thought their engine was that bad off. It just felt like they couldn't make the best use out of it. And you could certainly argue that that's been pretty severely improved here with the addition of Fries and Meowcaron. And then this card's not bad either. I mean, we already have the other trap that's like the negate in the deck, so like how many traps do you actually want to play? This card's interesting. Not sure if it's going to make the cut. It's a trap at the end of the day. Usually, at most, you want to play one searchable kind of brick trap card, but we'll obviously see where we go on that. I think that ends me... Oh my goodness, more support. Okay. Vaalmonica support. Let's move forward here. More stuff. Last one card here only. Okay, cool. Valar, Vaalmonican, Hallow Hymen. Link 2 Water Spellcaster Link Monster. 3,000 attack. This is a Link 2. Points bottom left, bottom right. Its materials are any two monsters, including a Vaalmonica Link, which does mean you do have to already turn on the Link 1s to make this. This is going to be tough to make. It's unaffected by non-Vaalmonica cards while you have 6 or more resonance counters on cards you control. That's not as relevant just because somebody can just go after your scales and like then make this card not a tower. Same thing as like Marine Cess. Why the Marine Cess Towers lock is not even that good, because people can just remove the field spell and then it's not a towers anymore. Second effect, for each level 4 Vaalmonica monster you control, this card gains 1 additional attack during each battle phase. Okay, it's 3,000, so even getting 2 attacks is pretty good. Third effect, once per turn when your opponent would special summon a monster or monsters. Quick effect, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. Then remove 3 resonance counters from your field. This card's actually kind of underwhelming. Like, I don't know, like, to get to this already feels like a chore, right? The fact that you have to already put enough counters on your scales to then summon any of the Link 1s and then get in. And one of the Link 1s is already a good interruption. It may even be a better interruption than this card. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. But then linking into this, where this is just a negate of a special summon, and then it's like a pseudo towers. I don't know. Maybe if the third effect wasn't hard once per turn, and you were able to just like, as long as you had enough counters, it was just like negate, 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 then I could see it. But it just kind of feels like, again, like the problem is like the difference between getting enough counters and not. If you don't get enough counters, it feels like the deck does nothing. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I haven't like thoroughly tested this deck, but it feels like if you don't get the counters you need, your deck does nothing. If you do, you get to like some stuff, but even that payoff like isn't even that strong. That's why I'm kind of like low on Vaalmonica at this point. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know what else is going to get revealed. I do have to head out to work, so if anything else does come out, I will make a video when I get home later today. But Madolche stuff is definitely the most hype stuff here for me, for sure. The Light and Darkness Dragon stuff is more cool than applicable competitively. Unfortunately, like it's cool. I'm just not sure. It's like, again, like I said, there's no like starter. There's no like actual starter card to get you there. It's just kind of like generic extenders that can kind of, I guess, get you there in a dragon deck. So not fully convinced there. Definitely the Madolche stuff is the most interesting. They may be straight up back as like a legit rogue deck again. If not, maybe even a little better. Maybe even tier 2. But yeah, I'll keep an eye out for more news going forward. Oh no. Okay. It was loading for a second. I was worried there was more stuff. I'll keep you updated on anything else news-wise. Big reveals. This basically gets us pretty close to just needing filler left for the Infinite Forbidden, the rest of Infinite Forbidden. There may be 1 or 2 more archetypal support cards here or there, but I'll keep you posted with anything there. So subscribe to the channel for more things news-wise. Sorry this video is long. They just did their live stream in the OCG, so we got all the dumps there, and I'll just keep you posted on that. So I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.